everyone, my name is Yasan Lee, and today's video is for those who have been struggling with self-confidence, believing in themselves, even to achieve certain goals in their life. So if that resonates with you and if you'd like some more information and advice on that, stay tuned. I find it so interesting how no matter where you came from, no matter how you were raised, whether you had support in your life or whether you didn't have support in your life, everyone can still go through a period of insecurity, a period of not believing in themselves, a period of lacking confidence in who they are, why they are, where they are. And that's real. Like, that's such a human experience. I know sometimes due to, whether it's trauma, whether it's like ups and downs in your life, or even whether it's, the negative energies around you, sometimes it can make you feel like you're not allowed to to have those moments, like as if you're not allowed to be human. And I'm sorry that you had to go through that, definitely, because we all deserve to be in environments where we feel safe to be ourselves. However, that's just not the case. In life, you're gonna feel like you can't be yourself for whatever reason. Sometimes it's even to just keep yourself safe. You think that by holding back on who you are is the best decision, and to each their own, but today's conversation is about learning how to understand and be gentle and patient with yourself while doing it. Confidence is kind of overrated. And I know a lot of people might disagree with me saying that, because obviously the end goal is to be confident in yourself. Like, that's the goal today, that's the goal tomorrow, that should be the goal, However, you don't need confidence to become confident. And I'm saying that to those who struggle every day with what you look like, what you're gonna wear, just to be perfect. And even in school, like, you have that pressure too. Like, once you answer one question right in class, everyone looks at you like, oh, you're the smart person, or like feeling like you can't even speak up in class, because honestly, I feel like some professors, some teachers really do have an agenda to just destroy people. I'm being real right now. Like, some people that you're supposed to be able to look up to, you just cannot. I applaud you for taking into the consideration that, this teacher is on some stuff right now, or this person is not being a role model for me. I 100% respect those who are always willing to challenge the example given, because not every example is good for you. And not everyone who is trying to be an example is someone you should follow. Especially if it's hard to relate to them, or if you see some characteristics that are just not healthy. But all that is a whole other conversation. But bringing it back to the confidence and how you don't necessarily need confidence to make certain decisions or to live life, is because learning how to be patient with yourself and to make small decisions like that, small as say you have a teacher and they're always yelling at their students, and you don't agree with that teaching style, so you say it to them after class or after school. I didn't appreciate how I feel like you're yelling, and a emotionally mature adult will take that into consideration and be like, even though I don't think I was yelling, these kids probably think I'm yelling, so it's either I can ask them or I just switch it up a little bit and apologize. Because regardless, in the emotionally mature world, you learn that sometimes just by you, something, we don't all know each other. We're not gonna understand what everything means in the moment, and we're not gonna always understand sometimes you yelling, I come from a Jamaican household, so everybody's just yelling all the time, and it's just they can sound aggressive, but when you understand the person, where it's coming from, then not to take it a certain way. Obviously you don't have to always be that way, but if you're learning someone and you're willing to love and you're willing to, care for them and get to know them, as every teacher should with their students, they would take that into consideration and, be like, well, I apologize A lot of people don't even know how to apologize. I'm on like a whole other rant, just real quick though, because I hate when people apologize for how someone feels. Am I making sense? Like, maybe I'm not, I don't know. I'm trying to explain. I just have a pet peeve when people are, I'm like, I feel like you disrespected me. Instead of just saying, I apologize for disrespecting you, it's like, I'm sorry you feel disrespected. That's crazy! Like, that's crazy! Like, I'm sorry you feel disrespected is like basically saying, I'm being myself and screw how you feel about it. Which, okay, I can understand that because there's people that will always like have a fault with you, but by apologizing in a certain way, like instead of saying, I'm sorry you felt disrespected by what I said, you can say, I'm sorry I disrespected you. That was not my intention. Is it okay if I can explain some things to you a bit more so you understand where I'm coming from? And this is obviously situational because you don't have to care about every person you talk to enough to like break this down. But if you're married and you just forget how to apologize because you've been married for like 20 years, got like 4 or 5 kids, like these things are real. Like this is real. This is like something that you always have to practice. Like I'm learning that as well. So we're here together. We're here together learning. Yeah, kind of learning it so you're not alone. But right, back to confidence. But all of it is under the same umbrella, low key, because sometimes people, you can diminish someone's confidence by not apologizing. And obviously, like, you know, I'm just saying that like with a kind of a grain of salt, because if you're learning to love yourself, you're learning how to be unapologetic about yourself, but also having wisdom to know what to apologize for. If someone doesn't apologize for something, then that's just who they are. And even if it's not who they are, then like it's up to you whether or not you want to keep engaging with that person. Like sometimes you really have to take accountability for your own pain if you allow yourself to be in those situations again. That's a whole other conversation. But let me get back to my notes. Everyone goes through a period of insecurity. Everyone goes through a period of lack of confidence in their abilities or to achieve a goal. Whether my cat is ruining my blinds. Grayson, Kamal Jackson. What? Why? Yeah, sit down. Yes, sit down. Okay. One of the things I want to talk about or just highlight is don't fake it till you make it. Practice until you are. And someone gave me the example a long time ago of when you're faking it, it's as if you have a mask and you're putting it on for whatever, you know, whether it's modeling in my case or singing. You're putting a mask on right before you model and then you take it off. As if that's not who you are, as if that's not what you want to do. When you put it on and take it off, it's as if you're conditioning yourself to be that way. It's as if you're separating the mask from you. But if you're practicing until you are, you don't need a mask. You're just practicing. Grayson, come on. Baby. What? Hello. Hello. Come here. First of all, your feet are wet. Ew. Grayson, say hi. Hi. One strategy, just like the countdown method, 3, 2, 1, or 1, 2, 3. Take a deep breath. 1, 2, 3, and then just do it. And then next thing you know, it's done. And then you're like, whoa, I did it. And I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds like, that won't really work for me. And that's okay. That's okay. But I promise you, a lot of the anxiety and a lot of the fear comes from allowing yourself the time to even think those things. It sounds silly, but it's very true. Like, you give yourself the time, like you're just sitting there and your mind's just wandering. It's just like, Naomi Campbell, I could never be like her. Look how gorgeous she is. Oh my God, her walk, oh my God. Yeah, that's only for X, Y, and Z kind of people, or this and that, and I have to have this and I have to have that to get this and that. And it's like, why are you spending more time down this rabbit hole of why you can't? Like literally, it's a study, science behind the more you think of something, that's where you eventually go. Like if you think you are ugly several times within a day, you will treat yourself as if you're ugly. So a lot of it is like, even if you don't believe that you're beautiful, treating yourself and thinking like thoughts that, you know, I'm beautiful, and like, wow, I love my lips, I love my shoulders, I love my skin, I love my eye color. Like just thinking of things, even if it's one or two, like even if thinking of those things more, like it does not make you conceited, which what ends up, or I mean it can, but but what ends up happening is you start feeling more gratitude towards yourself. And that the goal is to have gratitude and to be happy. And happiness is more likely to come when you're grateful, yet striving for more from a different perspective. Like you don't have to want more because you're thinking all the time of the less that you have. If anything, that's more strenuous on your brain, on your body, because you're already treating it as if you're just a mule. Like it's about knowing your worth. And through knowing your worth, you become confident. Like, I feel like we don't realize that there's levels to get there. There's some people, however, you know, you could just jump into, you know, I'm confident, you know. But when it starts to wear off, it's as if, like, sometimes it's harder to reboot because there's a disconnect. Like, I feel like in life, as we're humans and we're growing all the time, certain struggles that we go through, it's to like unlock like certain words that are now our words for this year, you know. You know, and respectfully so, period. Like let that be your word for this year, perseverance. And all it takes is like vocabulary words that I also wanted to hint out today, like bravery, like courage, like willingness, you know. Bravery, courage, willingness are all things that fight against anxiety, which is the definition of anxiety is the fear of, you know, something. So it's almost like, in my opinion, at the end of the day, when you wake up and realize that you have a purpose for yourself, or you're giving yourself a purpose, when even if you don't feel like you have one, there are certain things that you need to unlock within yourself, like courage, like bravery. Like literally courage and bravery has everything to do with doing something even though you're afraid, and nothing to do with confidence. And people do it every day. The more we just like take that in and not hate that about ourselves. Like it's normal to be sad, it's normal to like struggle with these things, but what are we gonna do about it? Are we gonna let it deter us from our calling, from our dreams, from our hopes? Like all about your perspective. Like your perspective matters so much when it comes to achieving the goals. If the goal is to be confident, be more brave, be more patient with yourself, be more gracious with yourself, you know. Give yourself more respect. Give yourself, like, there's so many other things that come along instead of just praising this one word, you know. And I think that's the perspective that all of us should, you know, be more conscientious of. But being willing to do this is honestly, I feel like, where it all starts. You have to be willing to change. You have to be willing to be patient. I wrote down the it girl and who she was to me, and what she had, what she wore, like how she wore her hair, the kind of friends she had, her partner, you know, her relationships, the kind of job she had. I wrote it all down, and I would advise you to do this too. This is so helpful. We're gonna do this together. We're gonna do this together, watch me. Really? Boom, here we are. So this is what I want you to do. If you haven't been taking notes already, I'm so happy this is a video so you can like rewind it. But if you haven't been taking notes already, I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do. You're gonna write him or her, you know, in the middle of your paper, right? This is like this is one of those little loose leaf things, right? Oh God, my handwriting is vicious. Okay. I mean, I'm writing like this, so just, you know, take it easy. You're gonna write him or her at the top, or you can even write your name. Oh my God, that was really cute. Okay, well, Yasan Lee is my name. Okay, I don't know why those are lowercase, but it's okay. And then you're gonna write who you want them to be, you know? Like what they smell like their fragrance. So you're gonna write smell, you're gonna write their jobs, you're gonna write your relationships, you're gonna write, you know, like if you want to be spiritual, education, your partner, you're gonna write, I don't know, just where you want to live. Period. I'm getting excited. What you want to wear. You're gonna write these things down, right? Write it down somewhere, maybe in your journal, your diary, whatever. I would advise like it being on like a poster board or a piece of paper, and you can just tape it on your wall or like on your mirror somewhere where you can see it, whether it's a post note, a sticky note, whatever. Write it down, right? And then every morning you're going to say, these are your new affirmations. You're just gonna say, I will have this, and I am. I will. You're just gonna start speaking in the future tense and present tense about yourself. Do that every morning, or at least like a few times a week. If it's really like a struggle for you to like think positively of yourself, I highly recommend that. I don't want to wait till I get there to start fighting like that for myself, you know? Although fighting like this is a different kind of fight. This is a different kind of fight. Like if you want to achieve things that you don't have right now, or you feel like you don't have right now, it's gonna be a different kind of fight. It's gonna take a different kind of vigor. It's gonna take a different kind of relentlessness, you know? Because you have to let it bother you so much. Like you have to let being lazy bother you so much that you can't stand it anymore. So you need to do better for yourself, you know? And that's a whole other that's a whole other conversation that we can get into, because I love talking about that kind of stuff. But by doing that, you are loving yourself. Yeah. Like you are your biggest advocate. You are your biggest advocate. Like when you're feeling lazy, you don't feel like washing the dishes, you don't feel like washing your hair, you probably didn't even take a shower. It's crazy. You need to do your laundry. You don't feel like talking to your friends. Is that the life you want to live? Is that going to help you get to your goals? And it's not even like, yes, there's like a grind and hustle part of life to get to your goals, but you will forever feel like you are running in place if you do not change your perspective. 100%. I love you. I care about you. I do. And to many people, that word is so foreign. That word is so strange. But it's something that you need to get used to either saying to yourself. You need to get used to saying to yourself or hearing in general. Love is not hating yourself. You will rob yourself of the experience of love if you do not give it to yourself first. I really hope that reaches somebody today, because it should make you feel refreshed, you know? And it's not easy, it's not. But if you can't do it for you, how do you expect anyone to do it for you? Because watch this, someone can love you, someone can appreciate you, someone can be brave for you, someone can encourage you, and it just go completely over your head because you have not given it to yourself. And the first gift has to be of these things to yourself. You know, I firmly believe that, at least. It's just a whole different experience, and I really encourage that with people. But yes, so you're writing it down. Write it down. There's even some psychological stuff that happens when you write things down. You remember it better. So do that. What I also wanted to point out was, like, when you're loving yourself, it's almost like you're taking care of yourself. You're shifting your perspectives on things. Like, you can feel lazy and not let it, like, get in the way of you cleaning your home. Like, don't get me wrong. If you feel like you need a rest. Rest is important. But discipline yourself. Discipline. I know people hate that word. It's such a harsh word, discipline. But it's real, because I'm motivating you, yes, because I see you and I believe in you, and I feel like all humans have potential to love themselves and be better, for themselves, because that is a true reflection of their surroundings. Like when you start loving yourself, it will shine through. You do not have to let what you've been through rob you of what can be. Okay? Like, period. You do not have to let your past determine your future. Period. And if you need help, there is help out there. There's therapy out there. If you need a friend, there's, girl, if things get really bad, you gotta write it down and talk to Jesus, talk to the Lord. Shoot, talk to yourself, write it down, because anybody got you like you got you. Yes, God got you too, but if you're struggling on that end, talk to yourself and talk to yourself as if you'd want someone to talk to you. And I want you to learn the difference between wisdom and fear by making small decisions. Like sometimes there are reasons for you to be afraid. Yeah. Someone's following you home. I don't think that's the time to show off that you are independent and grown and you don't need nobody to walk you down the street. No, if your sixth sense is telling you that someone's following you home, you should call 911. You should call a friend. There's a time and a place to use your wisdom, and there's a time and a place to allow your fear to help you make the right decisions, okay? When you don't feel comfortable talking to somebody about this, write it down. You have to ask yourself these questions. Where do you feel these ways? Why do you feel these ways? How can you overcome those things? You have to ask yourself, and I hate to say it, but there are right questions to ask yourself. And not many people are just sitting down and putting in the time to do this, because I promise you, if you do it once, that will help you so much. And you're gonna mess up here and there. Like you're gonna go through like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Oh, but this means I have to break up with them because I don't like the way they make me feel. They're triggering me, blase, blase. This is where the time to choose you is so crucial, and what dictates how you end up feeling about yourself. Because if all the answers lead to something, it could be space from your family, space from your partner, it could be starting to go out more, like being uncomfortable a little bit in other places and being willing to sacrifice things that aren't good for you but you're used to. If the answer is that clear and you still choose to lay the answer to rest as if you've never seen it in the first place, you are telling yourself you are unworthy. You are telling yourself you don't deserve happiness. You're making these decisions that a lot of them are difficult, but it's all a shift in perspective. Like I said, you need to be so fed up with living the life you were. How does you right now allowing these things to happen, or not speaking up for yourself, or not, even if some decisions are really hard to make in the moment, like harsh decisions are really hard to make and you have to you have to get the courage to get up there, that's fine. Be patient with yourself. As long as you know that you yourself want more for yourself and you're willing to make that change, like I said, all it takes is being willing. You will start to make small decisions for yourself that will allow you to become more like brave and courageous, It's not a process. Keep writing it down, pray about it, talk to God about it, talk to yourself about it, tell yourself these things. It's all about being more alive within yourself. There's too many people walking this earth and they do not feel alive. They're breathing, but they don't feel alive. And the goal, at least for me, is to help you not feel that way. Because I hate it when I feel that way. And I remember when I did feel that way. But there's so much more to life, I hope all of these examples and stories helped you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. I love you guys. I want to see us all do better in life, and just understanding confidence to me is definitely overrated, because I've done so many things afraid. I've been afraid, and fear is normal. But what fear is not gonna do is get in the way of my happiness, okay? What fear is not gonna do is get in the way of me achieving my goals and my dreams. And that's just me getting serious on me, And when you know that God has you, when you know that the power within you, the light within you, when you don't need to be confident in it, you just need to know.
You just need to know. And you need to not allow yourself, like, learn how, when I say having discipline, like earlier, discipline your mind to limit the thought. Sometimes you really have to limit the thought. The same way how you limit your thought with the toxicity, the toxic relationships, and where you know you gotta leave and you stay, and you know you shouldn't be drinking X, Y, and Z, but you do it anyway. The same way how you limit those thoughts is the same way how you gotta limit the thoughts that's gonna prevent you from being the person you wanna be and doing the things you wanna do in life. It's like, it's the same coding in a different practice. Okay. But I love you guys so much. Thank you for sticking around and watching. I hope you all gained something from what I was saying. And until next time, I look forward to making more videos like these. You got this. You are loved. You are beautiful. You are worthy. You are deserving. And you are living in abundance. Whether you know it or not, you are living in abundance. Declare it over yourself. There is blessings coming your way, and your eyes will be open to see them so you can catch them. Okay? The fact that you're breathing is not a mistake. It's not a coincidence. The fact that you're watching this video is not a coincidence. So take that with what you will. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.